Well, hello, everybody. It's CiNEMACHiNE again. I'm Al, and I'm here with Brandon.
Hello there.
And Ryan.
What's up, sir?
And this week, we're going to talk about a lot of movie news, what we've been watching, what you maybe should be watching, some movies that will be coming out. And we want all of you, of course, to fill us in on what you have been watching, maybe what we should be watching. Ryan, you want to tell them?
Maybe.
That?
Maybe. Yeah, I do. Definitely hit the subscribe button here on YouTube and the notification bell.
Yeah.
So you can stay up to date on all our goings on. Also follow us on Instagram at CiNEMACHiNE and then we also just launched a Patreon. That's patreon.com/CiNEMACHiNEPod. Any help we get there is hugely appreciated and helps keep the show up and running.
Yeah. So this week, also share the link and everything. Make sure everybody comes over. Blah blah blah. We'll have fun with that. Get as many people in the conversation as we can. This week we had a little fun. We went over and visited a friend of ours on their channel on Twitch. So,
Mr. Dan.
Yeah,
The beardless Dan.
Default Dan. Yeah. He's. We had a lot of fun over there. So I want to thank Default Dan for having us out. If you haven't checked out his, do you call it channel stream on Twitch? I'm not hip with
Twitch
the kids.
stream.
Twitch.
It's a
Twitch stream.
it's probably called a channel. We don't.
Okay.
Let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's
some of them
Twitch
young
stream.
whippersnappers, please let us know. But we had fun. We did the Disney was it Disney Challenge, Disney Battle.
Al, do you remember being there? You won. You should. You should.
Well, that's what I was trying to
remember
get to. I was trying to get one of you to say it. Anyway, so
Disney fights.
You won,
Yeah.
Al. You won. Congratulations.
you both had your lovely wives on. I'm no longer allowed. they don't know we do the show anymore. I was
guys,
out
we're gonna have
to
keep
win.
it down. I told
Yeah.
Katie I'd quit.
But no, we had a lot of fun. And if you haven't seen, Default Dan had a beard down past his nipples, it looked like. And he has shaved it off in the name of charity. So it's a good charity. So go over and check him out and maybe even see if you can donate somehow or another, or maybe even just like and share and all of that. But also do that here. And we'll get the message over to Default Dan. Enough about him. So
Default Brit now.
yeah. So
You plugged his show for like 4 minutes, Al. We
and
plugged ours
it's
for
just
like
it's just better. It's just better. That's all I'm saying. So,
Just because you won doesn't mean you
I know
have to,
I got some
is that
respect.
you
over
get
there.
to go back. You don't have to fight to go back. All right.
But I do want to say that one of you could be going back because they do have a vote kind of situation in the future. So
It ain't gonna be me. That's for sure.
yeah. We had some fun. But anyway, now it's time to talk about the serious world of movie news.
Yeah, let's get serious.
We should have worn ties tonight, guys. So, well, tonight we are going to touch on some pretty big news. I mean, AT&T
Massive.
is going to spin off
movie
WarnerMedia, including HBO Max. Oh, here we go. Including HBO Max and Warner Brothers, of course, TBS, Sci-Fi Network, Science Channel. I mean, TNT,
Everything.
Adult Swim, DC, everything that Brandon loves. So they're going to spin this off for
And Ryan.
43 billion. That's billion with a B. Biscuits, $1 billion.
It's a lot of monies.
That's a lot of money.
And they're going to spend
But-
$20 million on
That's the
content
kicker.
annually.
That's right there. Half the value of the company almost they're going to spend annually on content. And I guarantee 19.7 billion of them will suck. So
I think, though, part of that is the reason they got it for 43 billion is I think they're unloading a lot of debt also with it.
well, yeah. I mean,
I could be wrong there, but so it's probably the actual value of the company is probably more than that.
So the value of the company is closer to 44 billion total world box.
I don't know what the Leafs are. Any of you guys know what the Leafs? Maple Leafs? I don't know. Is that hockey?
Yeah. Yeah, bro.
They're
playoffs.
I don't watch the sports.
Go Leafs.
I just wanted to highlight.
I'll be honest with you.
Brandon says go Leafs go too.
Yeah. Sure thing.
Yeah. Go Leafs. But we do appreciate you tuning in with one ear and one eye here.
I thought he may have been watching like the Leafs grow outside. I don't know. Like
Jim Moore ref. Jim Moore reference. Oh boy.
Is that Jim Moore?
The Mora family, quite the family. Well, we really appreciate you being here, TW.
Yeah.
So, and go Leafs, go. Yeah. So
you took my Thrashers away. I have no allegiances anymore, so I'll root for the Maple Leafs.
Yeah. What are they called? The Capitals now, I think.
No, they went to.
Oh, they're in Canada. They're like hang on. They're like the Jets or something like that, right? Like they have an airplane in their I can't remember.
That's New York. That's football, Al.
I know that, yeah, doofus.
Yeah, Al. Gosh, what's wrong with you, dummy?
Al
doesn't even know sports teams.
Winnipeg Jets. There you go.
I told you, didn't I?
They took my Gladiators away. You know, Gwinnett Gladiators.
Gwinnett Gladiators.
Right? Yeah,
I went to one of their games.
I did too.
I went to one. It was. I'll be honest with you. I want to go to a professional hockey, like a NHL game one day. Everybody tells me it's the most fun thing to go to.
Speaking of hockey, before
what's that?
Did you not go to Thrashers games when you were in Atlanta?
No, and one of my old bosses.
They were so fun. Oh my god!
I used to work at CNN, and my boss there was actually just so he could get into the games for free. He ran the clock for him. So he would run the clock, and he was like a big time executive at a producer at CNN. He would run the clock just so he could get in for free. And I still never like. I was trying to get in for
right
free.
Across the street.
Yeah, I was like insane. I could use the same parking lot, everything, free parking, everything. But they left like a year or so after I started working there. So
yeah.
Well,
anyway,
Brandon's like a little bit of this is.
Let's get back to
before we get back to the AT&T. I'm just curious since we're on the hockey. Has anybody watched the Mighty Ducks show on Disney Plus?
No,
I have not. No, I view that like the Sandlot. Don't touch it. Just
yeah.
Well, I do too. So I was just curious. I've been hesitant to check it out, but I've heard that it's actually pretty good. But yeah, it's one of those things.
You never know. I mean, I like that they brought back Estevez, Emilio, but I knew it was coming out. I just didn't know it had already debuted. I have not watched it. There we go. I didn't know it had already debuted. So
it's still. I'm pretty sure it's still ongoing. It's one of those weekly ones. So
I might check it out eventually.
I have considered rewatching at least the first two with Luna, and then maybe watching the show with her.
Yeah,
I remember liking all three of them. I don't know if they made any like direct to DVD or whatever ones after the third one, but
I don't remember seeing the third one.
Third one when they were in college, D3.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
Yeah, I definitely did not watch that one.
All right, so hang on. We're gonna get off on a tangent for a second. We'll get back to AT&T and Warner Brothers. Let's get off on a tangent for just a second. The Mighty Ducks series or trilogy, the Major League series, or fill in the blank.
Doesn't matter. Major League.
Yes.
Series. So you're including Back to the Minors in this,
or the Sandlot series.
I don't care.
Let's do
Major League.
Major League.
You can give me one movie against a whole series of other ones. It's Major League.
You got no marbles.
Major League 2 is where like I've seen that one the most. Like for some reason, I've always like loved the second movie of the set. Like I love Terminator 2, Major League 2, Back to the Future 2, RoboCop 2.
Oh, I enjoy Major League 2.
Don't try to slide in RoboCop.
Indiana Jones 2.
Yeah, 4. You mean 4? You know what? That's a sin. That's a sin in movie world. You watched Crystal Skull, and I'm gonna scream it from the mountaintops until this is just Totally. Yeah. Okay. I've seen all three Mighty Ducks movies first. In the
Oh,
order,
dude,
two
you gotta
franchises.
watch
There we
Major
go.
League 2 is hilarious. You need to watch Major League 2. It's great.
All right.
Yeah,
All right.
it is great.
Now I know everybody here saw Rookie of the Year, Funky
Correct.
Butt Lovin'. That movie
Yep.
was great. That movie's still great. I can watch that. A good double.
Breakfast.
A couple years ago, my nephew
Nice.
had like the flu or something, so I sent him some movies. Amazoned him some movies. I sent him Sandlot and Rookie of the Year, and I think Angels in the Outfield. That was the trilogy I sent him. I think that's a pretty good movie day, right?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah,
That's a caring uncle right there.
I loved and I still like sports movies. I just don't watch sports. It's just one.
Are you guys?
My underdog sports movie that I love is For the Love of the Game. It's so good. It's so good. Nobody ever talks about that one. But
I don't know that I ever saw it, to be honest with you.
What?
Who's
Man.
Basketball?
Who's in that movie?
No, it's Kevin Costner. It's a baseball movie.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I didn't. I can't. I don't think I've seen it. I know what you're talking about.
You gotta watch it. It's so good.
What am I thinking of? Oh, Love and Basketball.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about too. That's exactly what I was thinking about too. Have you ever
Space Jam? That's what it was.
Yeah. Hoosiers.
Have you ever seen Hoop Dreams? The
No.
documentary.
Air Bud.
That's a good one. It's a good one.
People go on and on about Hoop Dreams. There's a criterion of Hoop Dreams, and it's like one of the top criterion. People go, love the Angels remake with Gigi. Okay.
Was that a remake? Angels in the Outfield? Was not aware.
I think it was an old black and white, wasn't it? The original?
It could have been. I mean, I just never knew it was a remake if it was.
Space Jam. I'm not a fan of Space Jam. I loved Looney Tunes. I loved Michael Jordan, but I just couldn't get into Space Jam. I don't know what it was. Maybe I was too old at the time.
You're probably too old, but I loved it when it came
65 when it came out.
Yeah, I was right in that target market.
Speaking of, we just rewatched it on HBO Max with Luna. She'd seen it before, but we just put it back on, and they already have the 4K transferred version. They're putting out a 4K version of it pretty soon, and it looks like it could have been made today. Like, it looks great. I was surprised at how good it looked. Animation wise,
yeah,
like,
the original
they did a really
came
good
out
job.
in the 50s. There we go. Yeah, yeah. I haven't seen it, but I remember seeing.
I'll be honest with you.
Trailer or a video or like a scene.
LeBron James being involved with this next one, I'm out. I can't deal with this.
I'll be honest with you.
See,
in general, the NBA in general, like the characters from the NBA's past, actually made me care. I don't care about it just seems like.
I'm about to get Hawks fever, man. Playoffs start here on Sunday.
I don't care what. I honestly couldn't care less if I ever saw a basketball game again. I got two addictions: Alabama football.
Trae Young.
I got Alabama football, and I got Chicago Cubs baseball, and I mean college football in general just kind of takes over as soon as like Labor Day weekend happens. Disney's being original Angel. Okay. Yeah. So Angels in the Outfield is a good movie. But I tell you what, let's put that out. I think we should vote on that best sports movie ever. I think we should throw it out into the atmosphere.
So hard.
It is hard, but it's a fun conversation.
Sorry, I'm a Braves fan, so you guys have wiped the floor with us this year. So I'm gonna go ahead and say no to go Blue Jays. We're 0-6 against them this year.
And I'm going to say go Blue Jays because I am fair weather. And if somebody that's just following us likes the Blue Jays, then I'm going to say, yes, I love them too.
Brandon's just cantankerous and nonconformist kind of. So.
And Al uses big words.
He's contrarian.
All right, guys, back to AT&T.
All right, so I looked up some numbers, and this is as of 2020. And this is the number of movies and how much those movies over the entire breadth of the entire company, the lifetime of the company. Okay. So number one is Universal Pictures with 254 films, $43,913 $1,150,146 in total worldwide box office for the lifetime of the company. Okay. Warner Brothers with 249 films, 43,895,933,593.
Just start with the first
You're
number.
very specific here.
Yeah, we don't have to get that specific. Just say 43 billion.
But it's almost 44. You can round up. You can round up. You can round up to 44 for both of those. So then we're just going to go down to just do the top three. Okay. Columbia Pictures, 245 films. Now these they're only like 4 or 5 films different between that's worth 42 billion, or if you want to round, actually it'd be 41 billion if you want to round down. But then we'll go, this is surprising. Can you guess? Just take a guess who the number 4 is. And we'll leave it at that.
I don't even remember the first 3 that you.
Universal, Warner Brothers, and Columbia Pictures. This is why I won. This is why
Paramount. I don't know.
No, Walt Disney.
Oh, there you go.
Walt Disney. I mean, Paramount's not even top 5, with 38 billion. So, I mean, that's a fair amount of difference. Disney. Yep, you got it. TW.
He's listening.
All right. But
that
I mean,
one of us.
The thing is that we look at this, we look at all of this, and we think, okay, Disney has purchased everything. You know what I mean? And they have taken the 20th Century Fox and Marvel Studios and separated those, so those aren't included. I will say that, but still, Disney. I mean, you have kids movies galore, family movies, everything. You have all of the TV channel, everything, and that's just the movies. Okay, so that's not the TV channel, but still, that's surprising that Warner Brothers is above Disney, in my opinion. But it's still $44 billion. Still selling it for
Disney's really just kind of blown up to the level that they are, and look, their acquisitions in the last 15 years or something.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Warner's pretty timeless.
Yeah, you had your changing of the guard and CEO, and that twice now. So I mean, in that time, so that changed a lot of things. So, but now TW made a good comment a while ago and said the 20 billion is probably across all those properties. Can we throw that graphic up again with all the properties?
It is.
Yeah, so it's 20 billion across the board. Now the crazy thing about this is, remember when Netflix made their big announcement, they're making $16 billion worth of content for a year. And that's just one. That's just one entity. And I can honestly say I have not seen $16 billion worth of entertainment on the screen.
I mean, but you just don't watch it. I think that every week they have something new coming out. That was their thing. We're putting a movie out every week, and it's just
there's more. Those are their major projects too.
You've got a lot of different series. There's so many series on that. I looked at their YouTube channel and they're like season 3 of this show. I'm like, I didn't even know this was a season 1. They have a lot of content that just doesn't. It's just they've just put out so much stuff that a lot of it, gets
also kind of. I mean, it's going to come down to whether it's Discovery Plus, HBO Max, or whatever. If they decide to merge them and change the name, it's going to be it's all going to be under that streaming service. And then the brands are kind of the silos that you drop the content under. So, I mean, I don't know. It's still one streaming platform.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think it's pretty amazing. I'm always amazed at how much some of these companies are worth, especially now we'll just touch on sports again. Sometimes when some of the sports teams are sold, I'm always surprised at how much they're worth as well. Like when the Dodgers sold a few years ago.
Oh, dude, they make their money back. This owners make their money back so quick. It's crazy, especially
with
in baseball.
TV deals. But nowadays, TV deals are going to start going away. You know what I mean? They're going to start going away in the next 5 or so years. So I don't know how they're
going to have distribution though. They won't be traditional cable deals, but they'll still have distribution.
Yeah, and I would imagine there will be a I think what the Yankees have the Yes Network, so they can kind of do their own thing, and that's what makes them so rich as far as every other team goes. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Do you think this will be a good thing for Warner? You guys are big in. I mean, now I like some Warner stuff. I'm not going to say I don't, but you guys are really into the DC campaign. Do you think that this is a good thing for them? Do you think this is a bad thing? Do you think this might help resurrect some things that you want resurrected? What do you have any?
I think that it's. I can't say that I've been impressed with how properties have been managed, and I can't say that I've been impressed with even the blockbusters this year that they've put out, from Godzilla vs. Kong to the little things to, I know people weren't huge on Mortal Kombat, like I don't know, and there's been so, and especially like following the DC side of things so closely, there's been so much drama, I guess, with upper management. You just look at that company, and then you can't help but compare it to something like Marvel Studios that just has this well-oiled machine, and this side can't seem to get even a semblance of a plan together. So in my mind, and it sounds like this, I think it's Zaslav or something like that for Discovery. Sounds like he's got a pretty good track record for or a good reputation for management and forward thinking. So I'm hoping that
there was a statement that he had made about rebuilding relationships with creatives.
After
because you've already seen a lot of their, like Nolan is like, he's kind of seemingly done with WB, or he wants to be, at least. I don't know if he still has movies on his contract, but
sure.
And then obviously a lot of the DC creatives have moved away, or they've stifled them so much that they've kind of eventually they start kind of being a little loose-lipped about how. But that's the thing is, it's understandable for them to be super, I guess, more micromanagey with thanks. Micromanagey with their bigger properties like DC and Potter stuff. Like those are their big money makers, so they're a little more like, they're probably a little hesitant to let creatives just do what they want to. Mm-hmm. Whereas they're more like smaller stuff, you would think that they would let them have a little bit more free reign. But from the stuff that I've seen, as far as like little stuff this year that has come out, like not big budget, like it's not been good. Like it's been kind of like like very like seemingly studio meddled with, and like it kind of reeks of that. Just well, we'll talk about it later, I guess. Like Those Who Wish Me Dead. Gotcha. We can get into that. We're going to review it, but I felt like that one, like Little Things, like a lot of these just felt like
just get it done.
It's also a product of the time that we're living in. I think so many properties are just so toothless now. Like they're scared. They're like just scared to take any kind of risk.
Yeah, you can't say this, you can't say that, you can't make this statement, but you can make that statement, and then I
will say they've done better in my opinion, on the TV side, especially on HBO Max. Like I enjoyed it's The Undoing.
You enjoyed it so much, you can't remember what it's called.
For whatever reason. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, they do have their HBO, but they've always had that. I don't know if that's just because of who's like. It's
not TV, it's HBO. Yeah,
it's true.
Yeah, true. I mean, those are Mac. They don't run them as HBO, though. They run them as Max Original. I don't know, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean that's just
but I think that HBO Max is just like HBO Max is HBO now. Like, that's just what it is. Like they're transitioning everything into HBO Max. Because I don't
know. Like they don't feel like they have the same. All their stuff doesn't feel, even like the flight attendant stuff doesn't feel like it has HBO quality quite. Like it seems like it's in this middle ground.
Yeah, that felt like a I don't know. That felt like a TV, like a I don't know, like a Fox kind of show with some sassiness or some.
Yeah.
I think that there are going to be outliers like that, especially because they're trying to put as much. They're trying to sell the HBO Max platform to have like exclusive content that you can't get just with normal like cable HBO. So you're going to have like, that's why they brought like Doom Patrol over, and they brought like other things were not made for HBO or HBO Max anyway. They just brought them in just to have more content. And then now they've got Superman and Lois for some reason. Like it's a CW show. So.
Yeah. And, you know, I this is, and to that point, I think what HBO was for the last 30 years, Netflix and others feel like
Wonder
they
Meg's
might
in the
fill
house.
that spot. Hey, Wonder Meg.
What's up?
But I honestly feel, to Brandon's point, that it's going to be quantity over quality for most of these deals that are being made, because we'll switch gears a little bit, but it's still on the same topic and we can still flip back and forth. And everybody feel free to tell us your opinions of all this. We want to hear what you got to say. But I mean, Amazon's looking at like they might buy MGM for
crazy.
$9
Everybody's buying everybody.
Yeah, I mean,
consolidate the industry quick.
And this is where James Bond, The Hobbit, Rocky, RoboCop, Brandon, the Pink Panther,
what is
Stargate,
what's it called?
RoboCop.
Write down.
Silence of the Lamb. Yeah, you should
is that like
it.
Cyborg?
No, it's better.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
I
this is
mean,
how you sell them out. This is how you sell them.
Yeah, sure.
They based RoboCop off of Cyborg.
No,
yeah, that's
Cyborg.
exactly what happened.
They based Cyborg off of RoboCop,
but he's white in this version. That don't make no sense. Well, that's a little. I mean, that's touchy. I don't want to get into that subject.
You brought
it just seems like you just go Cyborg. Don't worry about RoboCop.
They have a ton of stuff. So within MGM, I'm late, but hello, amigos. Hello, Nani G.
She's always
up, Nani?
So yeah. RoboCop is my jam. Well, please, everybody, please make it known that Brandon needs to watch RoboCop. He has never seen the movie. Please,
it's wild.
Stay on his nerves.
The guy's
until
on a movie
finally
podcast.
Watches it. That and Indiana Jones, the original trilogy, not Crystal Skull, which he has seen.
No, I will. I'll admit I haven't seen the Indiana Jones trilogy. I have seen RoboCop, but I know I have seen it.
All right.
I've seen it. I just want people to see, because then you get things like this. It's like, because this is it's not true.
No, this is what he does. Oh no, I don't need to see it if I say I saw it. I own it, but I don't need to see it. Yeah, RoboCop.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll have to do a RoboCop watch party.
I have the Arrow super duper 4K edition. We should watch it. Do a special review. I don't think Brandon will ever be the same.
It's true. We were going through this the other night. Meg was just like writing down like 20 movies that everybody was recommending that she hadn't seen. So I know the feeling. I know it.
Well,
but I have seen RoboCop.
He checked off Forrest Gump last year because of you guys. So
he has not seen RoboCop. He keeps saying it. I keep telling him. Ryan has joined the militia of getting him to watch this. There's so many movies.
I don't know what that criteria. Maybe I haven't seen the Arrow remaster of RoboCop, but I've seen RoboCop.
No, you saw the Joel Kinnaman.
I saw that one too,
and you didn't see the original.
I saw RoboCop 1, 2, and the remake. I didn't see 3. Is there a fourth one?
There's a made for TV movie, and it's on Amazon Prime right now as part of the TV show that came out. It's awful. Now RoboCop 3 is awful. It's awful. They made a PG-13 RoboCop movie, and it's awful. And it's not Peter Weller either. So RoboCop 1 and 2 were great. Now, I don't know where everybody stands.
They were great.
Brandon,
I remember I watched them.
Don't act like you've seen it.
He's like, you guys can make fun of me when there aren't people watching, but now all these people think I haven't seen RoboCop.
He has. So anyway.
I told you. I admit I haven't seen. I've not seen a lot of things, but I have seen RoboCop.
The trailer.
Lists are good.
I haven't seen the trailer.
So
hasn't even seen the trailer of RoboCop.
Jeez. So that was my first rated R movie. It's fantastic. So, all right. So $9 billion Amazon's looking to buy MGM. have all these properties. This is you can do this.
Thank you, Nani.
But he hasn't. But he hasn't done this. We've known each other for quite some time, and I've told him all the time. I told him, please.
We'll make it happen.
I've got an idea.
We'll make it happen.
Ryan, I've got an idea. We'll make a shirt, release the Robocop Brandon or whatever we got to say on it, and everybody like
release
you buy
the Robocop
one,
Brandon.
Like
it's really catchy.
I love it.
Whatever it is, the Robocop. Watch Robocop Brandon, for crying out loud, or whatever. Yeah, just speaking Brandon's language. Cyborg is specific.
See, he knows.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't speak that language. So, yeah, exactly. The amount of money that Amazon's pouring into the Lord of the Rings series is right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh,
yes.
Sorry.
but holy stuff. Yes, that is a lot of money.
I'm so excited for it. And I did read somewhere that there was I can't remember who the interview was with, but it sounds like the majority of that investment was like building out sets and investment in future seasons also. So I imagine future season budgets could be much less than this. Well, I'm sure they're saying hopefully to that, but
it's probably one of those things like when you shoot movies back to back,
building an infrastructure.
Yeah. So what I wanted to say is that these two deals, like the $43 billion for Warner Brothers, WarnerMedia, I should say, and this $9 billion, and we know others are soon to come. I mean,
yeah.
Everybody remember the big rumor that Apple was going to just buy out Netflix, and that was going to be their Apple TV Plus. Well, bigger things are going to happen. Yep. So is this, in fact, the death knell for movie theaters? Is this, in fact, just go ahead, get the coffins ready, movie theaters are done?
I just don't think, I mean, it's the same stuff. I don't think there's a death. I think it's just a steady decline of mass market theater.
They're just not going to put this kind of, we said this to each other the other day, and we'll say it out loud here, is that they're just not going to put this kind of money into content for movie theaters. They're just not. I don't think the ROI is there. I think that a lot of people are similar to Brandon, have a good setup. You have your flippity floppity, whatever that thing's called, Ryan, and people can project movies on to everything. Heck, we even had this guy. I mean, people are okay streaming movies on a phone.
Yeah,
now for the first time they've ever seen it, and that drives
it hurts my heart.
It's also, it's very much like the new generation of like teens and kids, like they do not care at all about theatrical experience.
Right?
No, they don't, and that's the generation that you have to kind of feed with all.
They don't even care about Netflix. They don't care about streaming. They care about YouTube. Like it's just like and TikTok. Like they don't watch movies much, if at all.
Right.
Like I talked to my nephew, or not my nephew, my cousin.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, did you check out the blah, 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 whatever recently came out? And he's like, what is it? I'm like, you don't even know about this movie? Like, they're just like so out of touch with that stuff. They just don't care. Yeah.
I agree. It'd be like when we stopped renting videos. I miss Blockbuster, man. You know what? I miss it too. And as much back in the day, I would go to like the mom and pop rental places because we had one at the end of our neighborhood. It was called Brian's Video. I remember that. And I'd go to those places because they had the weird movies more readily available than Blockbuster. But still, I miss just going in, making the decision. Now we've kind of talked about it on this show quite a few times of just how physical media. We love physical media here. All three of us love it. It's something that we really do agree on, that physical media is a good buy because how much they edit things, how much they're, kind of retconning a lot of things. So, CiNEMACHiNE, I know. Thank you. Star Wars on a phone. Yeah, just no. But it's just one of those things that physical media is going to dry up and die. It'll be like boutique shops. I feel will kind of stick around, and you'll see limited runs. Similar, and it'll probably have a resurgence similar to vinyl and everything. even though Apple is now releasing lossless audio, people are still like, I'm into vinyl. That I think Tidal has lossless, if I'm not mistaken, audio, and it's still not the same to people. People want something tangible. There you go. Inside Llewyn Davis. That's a great movie. That's a great movie.
Great soundtrack.
Had to dip into Luna's college fund for it, but
it was one of the more expensive vinyl purchases.
But I really do feel
college is overrated.
Yeah. College is the next thing that dies off. I still buy CDs. Oh wow. Okay. What's the last? Nice. What's the latest CD?
We're all about some physical media. We don't discriminate.
No, we don't. I like something tangible. I like good package design. Now, I am not one that partakes in the drinking of alcohol, but I have been in and out. What do they call them? ABC stores or something like that. I've been in one or two with Brandon, and I'm like, look at the packaging. Like, I don't belong in there at all. I have no, but I like good package design. And
it makes.
Look, here's the thing. Like, that's the main reason that. That's the main reason that I'm collecting records is packaging. Like, I don't have the.
Now that's just really pretentious, Meg.
I love the packaging.
Yeah, seriously, you can't beat
it. What was the last VHS you purchased, and how recent did you?
Where did you get it?
That's the question.
I'm doing a little special project right now with some VHS. Still burn my own.
She was probably all over those that we talked about a couple weeks ago. The Stranger Things.
There we go.
Blu-rays and the VHS packaging.
Yeah.
She shows her VHS finds on Twitter.
That's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. My father-in-law, he has storage buildings, and he was sending me some VHS copies of Lord of the Rings and something else this week that he found that he was saving for me, just because you can't have too many copies of Lord of the Rings.
Last Action Hero? My gosh, Meg.
I hope you're watching them on a CRT television. If you're watching them.
Yeah. No, I hope you're connecting
that nice high-pitched noise throughout.
I hope you're like on public transportation, plugging the VHS into your phone and watching it that way, just really annoying people. So I am all about it. I watched a little history the other day about the history of VHS versus Betamax. And do you remember when Blu-ray versus HD DVD was the big thing? Yeah. And Blu-ray,
I remember the Tropic Thunder joke about it with the porno industry being the reason why they went with Blu-ray.
So, so that's pretty much what happened with VHS. It was just a little less expensive. Betamax actually had a higher resolution. But there are some people on YouTube that break it down. They'll take a VHS of the same movie versus Blu-ray versus DVD and show the difference across the board. And it's pretty interesting to watch. So, go out and find. One person did Back to the Future, for instance. So check that out. I'm scared about movie theaters. Maybe this keeps the knuckleheads at home. Maybe that's what it does. Maybe we don't have so many rapper.
I'm sure it will to an extent, but I also think that it's gonna kill movie theaters.
It was like 8-bit guy,
big market movie theaters, because
exactly who it was.
Keep up with business.
Thank you, TW.
I feel like we talk about this every week.
Hey,
well, it's because it's near and dear to our hearts. And then,
I'm just saying, like, I feel like we talk about the future of theatrical experience every week.
Well, because there's an acquisition every week.
Yeah, there's more acquisitions than there are announcements about the cast for Knives Out 2 and 3. So, which I honestly
that's a lot.
I do not care about anymore. I don't want to hear any more about it. It's like, give up already. I get it. Just announce it all when it comes out. Oh, here we go. I went to the theaters yesterday, and I was the only person there other than the workers. I missed the packed theater.
Dude,
what'd you see?
Brandon,
what'd you see, Meg?
I haven't told you yet, Brandon, but I went to go see Army on Friday night, and
disgrace.
Dude, no, they had a blown speaker in the theater. It's driving me nuts. It's driving me nuts.
Did you let them know?
Well, no, I didn't. But Katie was sitting there right next to me. I was like, I leaned over. I was like, sound sucks.
I'm so glad, dude.
I don't think you're.
Do you imagine you were trying to get me to come out to Atlanta for that? I would have been so pissed. I'd have been so.
That would have been such a great story, though.
No.
So Meg went out and saw Army of the Dead as well. So that's pretty cool.
Nice.
And oh, hey, look, I did the same thing, TW. As a matter of fact, I talked about it on the show. It was fun to watch old school Star Wars in a theater.
I did the same with Alien earlier.
Yeah, that's right. And that was a good experience. I remember you talking. Really cool. I honestly believe that if you get an option to go see a old school movie on actual film, that's the way to do it. I talk about it. I've talked about it 1,000 times on here. The Shining did that for me. TW, it made him so happy. He says,
"I don't know of anywhere around here that still projects on film."
It just happened to be it was the Marietta Square Theater years ago. It's an old rickety theater, and it's like a one screen, and they have like shows and stuff.
Oh, this guy's great.
But yeah, it's a lot of fun to go watch old school movies, and it also kind of puts you in the perspective of like when I saw Shining in an old rickety theater, it really helped. Here in Michigan has been open for a while. Oh, really? Okay.
As long as they don't clap, I was good with that. He's an anti-clapper.
I don't like for people to clap. I don't like for people to clap in movie theaters. I'm sorry. I don't like it. I'm not there to see you. I'm there to see the movie.
That joy.
No, it's fine. It's fine if you laugh and stuff. I just don't need your moron hands going. Whoa! I don't need it.
Is that how people clap in movie theaters?
That's what it looks like to me. That's the way I see it. And I know I offended a lot of people last week. But all right, so let's talk about something else that annoys me, and that's movies with commercials. Movies with Nani G. The claps keep getting longer and longer every week. So HBO Max will now let you pay them $10. Yes, that's right. HBO Max will now let you pay $10 to watch with ads.
Yeah.
Is this something?
I don't know if it's launched. I don't know when it's launching.
I don't. But it's something they've announced. We'll say they've announced.
Pretty sure it's this summer. But
now that's only $5 difference in price, and this will be in the first. This difference. Launches in 2 weeks, the first week of June. So, how do you guys feel about like? I remember when people would tell me the first time they ever watched a movie was like on TNT or TBS or something, and it drove me crazy. I was like, "Oh, don't tell me that," because you have so many like pauses you can get, and it that takes the integrity of the movie out for me. Does it do that for you? Yes, Tubi does drive me nuts.
I had the Hulu ad-supported version at one point, and it's hard to do. Like, once you have one that isn't ad-supported, it's like you can't go back. And I mean, I get. Here's the thing. I'm not going to criticize anyone that does this for budgetary reasons. Like that's obviously understandable. Yeah. But if you can afford, obviously because I don't know how like. They determine they'd have to go in and really pick when's the best time to insert an ad for it to be like I don't it like if it was like this big dramatic moment like it's like
sure
Aptivia or something like it's like
it's one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things like Al, you were kind of mentioning. It's one of those things like when it was on TV, like when I was actually watching movies like TNT growing up, whatever. One of those things where I just like didn't know any better, so it didn't bother me, I guess. But it's like I remember when Spotify first came out and I used the free version or whatever, and that it had ads every second song or something. And then a buddy gave me a gift card for like premium, and the gift card ran out. But I was like, I cannot go back to
I think you talk about the younger generation. I don't think they can handle being advertised to. I think they have to subtly and kind of almost like subliminally be advertised to. So that's why I think the advertisements are going to continue to bleed into the product, into the actual shows and movies. That's what I mean. There's a lot of product placement already.
So thin. Yeah,
right. I think the model, honestly, I believe the model is honestly going to go to the fact that like whenever you're watching it afterwards, you can click on a link and buy everything like you can click on a link. I like that lamp and the dress she was wearing and things like that. So,
do you guys scrub through ads on YouTube, like when they have baked in like ads or podcasts?
Yes.
Or do you just let them ride? Are you too lazy to scrub them?
Tap.
Just let it go.
I'm right past them. I find it very odd. Like if I'm watching like let's say a news
unless it's a Manscaped 4.0 ad, then I listen.
Oh my gosh. Or VPN for crying
out loud. Are you
got a VPN?
For sponsorship already, Brandon?
Yeah. I am. I got my reasons.
Willing to be.
All right, moving on.
Well, yeah. But no, I think it's weird whenever they're like talking about something super Lightcast fan.
Not familiar. No, I am.
Brandon, anything that gives him Batfleck news. I need it.
Anything that's going to tell me what I want to hear, I'll listen to.
They do. That's exactly what everybody's going to go to. I mean, they're already doing that with like say news and such. So we're just going to continue to grow echo chambers more and more. So it's going to be like social media just with content, you know. So it's going to be interesting because people are going to never hear really another side of the argument, maybe, or the debate, or the like. Maybe they won't even see another kind of entertainment. They'll be like, that exists, you know, by conversation, and that concerns me. Like I have used it, but I am not a big proponent of Redbox because I don't like how they only put like 70, 75 movies in there or whatever, and they're like, you'll like what we say you'll like.
It's a box.
They can only fit so much.
I get it.
You want to plug your USB in, and
I'm not saying they're wrong in doing it. I'm just saying that I don't like that model is what I'm saying. So I don't like that, but at the same time, I don't like having too many.
Living in a place like I do, Redbox is good to have around. Just saying. Yeah. Don't have great internet. And then the nearest, you know, like Best Buy or whatever is, you know, an hour away. It's like, okay, Redbox, $1.50, rent a movie. Not bad. Come on.
Hey, Austin, how you doing?
In the house.
You're not late.
How we've rented Redbox movies before.
I said I have partaken, but I'm not a big proponent. I didn't say I haven't done it. Yes, we have.
All I'm saying is it's physical media.
That's how we first saw Upgrade. Big fan.
Have cake and eat it too.
Big fan Upgrade. Well, I do think this is a conversation that is pretty special, but I want to talk about something in particular. You know, we're talking about streaming, we're talking about going that route, but both Netflix and Disney Plus, their subscription numbers have slowed pretty substantially. So Disney Plus, they estimated that this quarter they would have 109 million subscribers, but they only have 104 million, which it sounds like, oh, that's only 5 million, but that's a lot when it comes to these things. Whenever you think about people are sharing and the numbers have dropped off dramatically since last year's numbers, and a lot of people are wanting to say this is because they went up. I think they went up $1 per month to $7 or $8. I pay it every month. I just don't remember what it is. But a lot of people said it has to do, you know, with some choices that Disney has made outside of the entertainment field, you know, with like just we won't get into. And then a lot of people just say it was sign of the times with what everybody just went through, the whole world went through with COVID. Do you think this is just a sign of the times? Do you think this in favor is due to lifting COVID restrictions? Yeah,
I think that there's only so many people you can get. Like,
well,
that's a lot of people.
There's more and more of these services entering the market too. So like they're all chomping after kind of the same out of the same pie.
So Netflix, Netflix is the leader, right?
Yeah, by far.
And then is Disney Plus behind that, or is Amazon?
Second place has like half of what Netflix has. Remember what
I was going to look it up, but I don't know. I mean, I don't really know what to take from it. I would expect.
So here's the numbers if you want them. 204 million quarter. This is 2020.
Is this global, or
you can drop it in the private chat and I'll pull it up if you want to. Where we say the things we can't say on the stream.
Oh, tell me about it. You should see what Brandon says about all of you. These Robocop idiots. I'm not watching Robocop. Yeah, so we got 150 million Prime Video, and it even goes into Spotify and all that. I mean, so this is last year.
That's an infographic. Jeez. Yeah. Just want the numbers. Okay, there we go.
In Prime Video, that doesn't even really. I mean,
so if you go down,
it's combined with everything else.
Yeah, so if you go down to
what is that one? Transcend? I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, so it's like half. Disney Plus
is China's largest video streaming service.
Disney Plus is really the second place if we're talking domestic. This is kind of similar to what I saw, but it was a domestic version.
Where is Quibi?
Dead.
Oh.
It's dead.
Okay,
it's dead.
I did see that those since Roku purchased them, that all those shows are live on Roku, the Roku channel now. If you're interested,
so it's just I don't know. I don't know if because we keep saying, oh, this is the death knell for theaters, and then we see things like this. Is it just people are tired of mediocre quantity over quality kind of entertainment, or is it that people are tired of being inside? A couple things.
As far as the Disney's dropping off, if they did drop off, then I imagine it's got a lot to do with Mandalorian being over.
Yeah, we're the Mandalorian channel.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier being over, and WandaVision being over. Like, or maybe it is a quality thing because those shows were kind of meh, in my opinion, and a lot of people kind of felt that way. But the people that are going to keep Disney Plus are families, because that content is going to be evergreen. Sure. Like, there's so much family content on there, and the family content that they are putting out is solid as far as original content.
Yeah.
So I think you've got a lot of maybe adultish people that maybe don't have kids that have subscribed, and maybe like, all right, I really don't need this right now because I'm not really going to be watching all this Disney stuff.
Right.
So.
Well, I mean, now Disney is not nervous about this, so that's what they're saying. They're saying, "Oh, this is all coming."
I would not be nervous about Disney Plus at all, to be honest with you.
I would be nervous if I was Apple TV Plus. I mean, I just think I don't know. They're going to have to do something.
What I'm saying is, I don't think Disney is in trouble at all.
Disney's not in trouble. When Disney was in trouble, not in trouble. We won't use that hyperbole, but I mean, the thing is, they were bleeding money when their parks were closed, just like billions. So now that they're
especially Disneyland, because they weren't open. Period.
No, they were not, and that was hurting them. I saw one at one time. Man, this is a while back. I saw this. It was like they were losing $20 million a day or something like that. Yeah, 20. It was a lot.
I'm sure if they were still maintaining like landscaping and stuff, then that's got to be. I mean, that's expensive. Their landscaping is impeccable.
Have you ever watched how Disney keeps mosquitoes away in Orlando?
Yeah,
like there's a YouTube video about that, and it's quite impressive. The link, and that's just one aspect of the links they go to. So so Nani G says she likes all the Star Wars stuff. They do have the parks reopening, money across the board. And I think that's really going to help them. I think honestly, Disney Plus is kind of like extra for them. It's kind of like just like weekend money for Disney. I don't think it really means the world to them. Whereas like a Netflix, their numbers slowing, it's everything to them.
A $95 million or million subscribers is a lot of cash. That's why people pour money. That's why all these studios are pouring money into streaming, is because they get that return money every month from these people.
Yeah, but whenever
it's all about value, though. That's the thing, is as long as the customer sees value in their subscription, they'll keep paying, and that's why they continue. I mean, it doesn't. That's kind of what the Netflix angle is. It's like they may not put out hit after hit, but they're putting out content, and people see that. Maybe not Al, but people just see it as, well, this warrants me spending this money because I've got licensed content that I can watch, but I also have this original content that they're continually putting out, and so that makes it be like, all right, well, it's worth $10 a month or whatever it is.
Yeah, and I don't know. I honestly feel like in general, just how bad everybody's up for. Like, they don't make really anything of note anymore. They don't really make anything that's original much anymore. They do, but not much.
Who's this?
In general, just Hollywood in general, or entertainment industry. Everything's kind of a remake to a certain extent, or it's 5 properties that And I honestly do believe, I know that you guys are going to have a hard time believing this, but I do feel like people are going to have superhero fatigue sooner than later, because everything is superhero and everything is like long format TV and things like that.
I don't necessarily think so. I think that you're going to see a little bit of a resurgence in stuff that's very different from Marvel. I think it's kind of be a cyclical thing, like dark to light, or however you want to look at it too. Like,
yeah, I mean, I know.
I mean, look at the Joker. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they got to keep putting these out so they don't lose licensing. But I mean, there are still movies releasing. There are still, things heading to theaters. Dune is no longer going to be on HBO Max like it was going to be.
That got. Am I wrong in saying that
it got refuted by I think it's Variety, but I imagine that it's one of those things that by the time we get to November or December, whenever it's scheduled to release, they're just going to go back on that. And either they're going to use this new acquisition transition type thing as an excuse to go back on it. But
yeah,
I feel like that one and Matrix 4 are going to be the ones that, they're just like, all right, theaters are kind of ramping back up. They'll probably put them out theatrically exclusively for maybe a month, and then they'll go to HBO Max. I just feel like right now, publicly, they haven't made an announcement. They're not going to, that was a rumor to begin with. That was what somebody heard. So, but yeah, I think that they will go back on it by the time it gets closer. Because, I mean, that's 6 months away or more.
Yeah. I think the more comfortable people get with being out in public again, or whatever the case may be, then I think that theaters will slowly.
A lot of
open
people
more.
saying this actually. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out.
No, I mean, I agree with you. I feel like it's a risk. I mean, Denis Villeneuve makes amazing movies, but Arrival maybe is his biggest box office hit. I guess I think it did pretty.
What did Prisoners do?
I think Prisoners wasn't big at the box office, but
it was probably
Sicario.
A very low budget though, so it probably did well as far as in comparison, as far as ROI. Because I can't imagine Prisoners was more than 30 million.
Yeah, Prisoners.
His budget. What was its budget? You're basically just paying Hugh Jackman, Terrence Howard, and Paul Dano.
Jakey Jill.
Yeah, Jake Gyllenhaal. I forgot about him.
Yeah, and then you have Sicario comes in there.
That's a good one too. Yeah,
he doesn't miss, man. As far as new directors, he's
Well, that's the thing.
Everts has joined.
he made movies before his resurgence. He took some time off and then came back. So what we know of him now is totally different than what he was doing beforehand. So he in his time off, he figured it out, because he is my most anticipated filmmaker. He and I mean,
I just think you like saying his name.
Villeneuve.
Dennis. Oh, Dennis. Dennis.
What y'all been watching this week?
What are we going to watch this week?
What have you been watching?
This week?
Oh, what have we been watching? Well, let's talk to Brandon about that. Brandon, what have you been watching?
As far as new stuff, really only, well, let's see. I guess Mayor of Easttown is probably the only thing that,
Dude,
and I guess Ryan and I both had this on our what we've been watching list.
I love it. It's great.
Are you caught up, Brian?
I am. I'm all caught up as of yesterday.
And I'm not saying that to spoil anything. I wouldn't do that. But like, as far as the show is concerned, I feel like it's progressively, and I think I said this last week, it progressively kind of continues to pull back the onion a little bit. And it's just, it feels such a lived in show. I love, like, the characters are really good. For the most part, everybody is very well cast and well acted. I think Kate Winslet, like
she looks rough in this movie.
Yeah, they do a good job, and we'll get up when we do our review of Those Who Wish Me Dead. It's like the complete opposite, like with Angelina Jolie. Like, I feel like she's such a lived-in, real character in this show.
Sure.
Angelina Jolie.
But yeah, is that what I said?
No. Yeah. I mean, I get what you're saying. With Jolie, it's the opposite. Yeah.
But no, I mean, I've talked about this show before, so I'll let Ryan, since he hasn't had a chance to say much on it. So, but yeah, I'm loving it so far, and I think there's 2 episodes left. If you haven't checked that out, I would definitely recommend it.
With these types of shows, there's such an easy, it's so easy to fall into the trap of, like, I don't know, doing cheesy reveals of, like, who killed who or whatever. It's just very, it just feels very grounded. It's a weird thing to say about this kind of show, but, like, it's not like they do little teases and stuff to make you think, like, oh, that character did this. Like, I don't want to spoil anything, but they don't like that doesn't ever end up being the actual case. And it's just very, it's a very harsh show, which is cool. It's kind of a no holds barred thing.
And it's got Ralph Boner in it too. So.
The return of Boner.
So if you're a fan of him and WandaVision, then check it out, because he's way better. He's way better in this.
He's great in the show, actually.
Everybody's great.
He's a good balance.
I'm glad, like, this is the show, like, this is what I've wanted, like, all these weekly shows to, like, that, like, with the Marvel stuff, I'm like, this is kind of what I wanted as far as something that I look forward to every Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, those shows I didn't really look forward to, unfortunately, but, like, except for just being able to talk about it on the podcast. But this has been a really great weekly watch. So
I was that way with Invincible, obviously, but yeah, I agree. This show specific, like, I think it comes out at like 10 on Sundays, and, like,
that's the only thing
going on the first 3 days.
It's so weird because
it was driving me nuts that I wasn't able to watch the last episode. It's like, I gotta see it.
I think the Nevers has the primetime HBO 9:00, but I think that's over now. So I was wondering if they were going to bump this up to 9 now, but maybe
they should, man. It's so good. They have not pushed it enough, in my opinion. How far are you into Invincible, by the way, Brandon?
5 episodes, maybe. I don't know.
Say that again.
I think maybe 5 episodes.
Gotcha.
It's a trickle effect. I don't have a lot of time, and I don't want to
whenever I just want to talk about it
on my
whenever
computer.
You finish it up. Sure.
So the only time I have to watch it is when we're in bed, Melissa's falling asleep, and I'm like, all right, I'll put it on, and then I get tired and I can't finish it. So it's double-edged sword there.
Sure.
But yeah. What have you been watching?
Nuts.
I watched some classics. I watched the original Jurassic Park
Nice.
And yeah, man, that movie still has the same tension and everything that you remember. I mean, that movie, the scene where they're in the little explorers or whatever, and the little jeeps, and the T-Rex is looking in the window, and
that's exactly what I was just thinking of when you mentioned Jurassic Park. That's right where my head went.
Man, those kids. So this is the thing that I have a hard time with nowadays. They always make the kids like smarter than the adults nowadays, and it's kind of annoying. And it's like okay, I get it. He's smart. Even in the Jurassic World movie, that was one of my biggest things about that movie. That kid, the kid with the curly hair, I hated that kid so much because he's like, I'm smarter than everybody. I know how to work a Jeep. I know exactly what Jeep this is. I know how to work this engine. And it was just like, okay, I get it. But these kids were real kids, and they looked afraid. And you remember when he's like climbing up the electric fence, and then they turn on the electric fence, like the whole scene where she's about to flip the switch and everything. That's so tense, and you're just like, oh no, and then they're having to resuscitate him. I mean, it's a classic. It's so well made. It's I don't know. It just goes down smoothly. It just hits you in all the right spots, has all the right beats.
Still holds up too, as far as like even the CG because of how they kind of use that. Like they especially like use most of it at nighttime with the T-Rex, and so you don't have to do a ton of like crazy shading that you would have to do. And they set it in the rain, so that helps. But but yeah, and then a lot of like a mixture between a lot of miniature stop animation type stuff. I recently showed that to my nephews as well. Well, not as well, but and it's just fun watching them discover it, because it's one of those things where kids today have such a short attention span. I've always I'm worried that showing them classic movies like that take their time, and it has happened a few times where it's like, it takes a while to get to like the big set pieces in action. And Jurassic Park does. I mean, you start off with the Velociraptor scene, which is intense, especially for a kid, and then it's just like a lot of like setup until you actually get to the park. And even when you get to the park, it's got the moment, with when they like welcome to Jurassic Park, that whole stuff, which is cool, and it's very like it generates a lot of emotion out, especially if you're a kid seeing something like that for the first time.
For sure.
But then it still takes a while until you actually, because then when they get into the park, no dinosaurs are around. They're like having that issue where they can't find any dinosaurs, and that's part of like, any dinosaurs on this dinosaur tour. So it takes a while for it to really kick into gear, but once it does, it's like it's fun to watch them experience.
And Jeff Goldblum is so much fun.
He is.
I love Jeff Goldblum so much. Like the older I get, the more I appreciate Jeff Goldblum.
Which is why it was so disappointing in Fallen Kingdom. He was in one scene, essentially, like the courtroom scene at the beginning and the end. It's like, but they're all coming back for the next one, which is I hope that they do that justice, because it's gonna be cool seeing all of them together again.
Yeah. Fallen Kingdom was kind of a letdown. I mean,
I'm telling you though, I went back and watched that recently, and it improved a lot for me.
I watched it again on Blu-ray, and I don't know, it was kind of silly to me. A lot of it. I still like that first scene where they're down in the water, and that's really tense and everything. That's really good, but just the movie kind of falls apart a little bit for me, especially how silly it is. Like when they're chasing the little girl on the roof, and in the dinosaurs in the bedroom is like, and then the dinosaur looks at the camera and is like, yeah. So
I get
but
it. I still enjoy it.
Say Jurassic Park 3 is the worst. still to this day.
No.
Jurassic
Alan. I was rewatching them, and then got to that when they're on the plane and he's having the dream, and the Velociraptor says his name, and I was like, nope, and I turned it off. That's like, couldn't catch it.
So Nani G likes Congo. I don't know that I ever saw Congo.
I remember recording Congo on VHS and never got around to watching it.
You can send it to Meg. So
yeah, I could have to find it.
Get your race car rewinder out. Make sure it's you don't want to send her one that's already been watched.
Right.
Oh, here we go. Here's my new best friend. Ghostbusters. Yeah, boy. That's right. Back to the Future trilogy. That's right. Ghostbusters is the jam.
I did rewatch Back to the Future recently, and I agree it does hold up well.
So I also watched Big Trouble in Little China, and I've since learned I'm gonna have a little special review of that over on Criterion Corner. I'm gonna bring on a special guest. Got a special guest coming on to chat about that. So
tell me it's Chris.
Maybe.
Yes.
I hope it's Chris. He deserves somebody to talk to about that because it ain't Ryan and I.
He's got a hot toy. That's his only hot toy. Big Trouble in Little China.
I reached out. He said, "I'm going to be a boring review of this movie. I'm just going to gush all over it." I said, "That's what good. I think is good." So we're trying to figure out.
It's going to be like my Forrest Gump review.
I love this movie. So I think that needs to be a T-shirt.
I tried watching this not too long ago, and it's just not for me.
It's so good.
But you know,
I enjoy it.
Don't criticize anybody that likes
nowhere near the level of Chris, but I enjoy it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
I think it may be one of those things where it just doesn't. I watched it. I don't know when you watched it, Ryan, but I just maybe watched it too late in the game.
It was just one of those growing up,
probably
with my dad kind of deals.
Yeah. This movie is just so. It's John Carpenter. I like 80s John Carpenter movies. Now the 90s kind of fell apart a little bit, but I mean, let's be honest. And talking about VHS, did you know Halloween 2 is like the one VHS and beta that brings in the most money on eBay? It's hardest to find, and people buy it for like over $10,000. It's insane.
Between that and Just Friends on Blu-ray.
yeah, that's right. If anybody has Just Friends on Blu-ray,
Just Friends on Blu-ray.
Ryan will trade you Suicide Squad
or Idiocracy, either one.
Yeah. I just realized that you're wearing your CiNEMACHiNE shirt. I was wearing. I gotta get a Cape Cast shirt. That way we can just promote all three shows.
Well, I have to wear this because it's the only one in existence and will ever be the only one in existence.
Al, you're gonna start.
You realize that
you're just gonna have like holes in it.
You can.
You can
continue to make that joke. We never said you couldn't sell it. We didn't put it in the store because it was a surprise gift for you for Christmas. So we had to keep it off of the store.
I know. Yeah. So
just publish it. Put it out there.
Maybe we'll see what happens. Yeah. So as soon as Brandon watches RoboCop, everybody can buy the Criterion Corner shirt. So yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying watching old school movies. Like I said, I want to kind of go back and watch things on physical media. So I actually watched both of these on Blu-ray and really enjoyed them both.
So is it a Criterion movie?
It is not. They have a Shout Factory. Yeah, I mean, Shout Factory put it out, and they have a special edition. It's not like the fancy special edition Arrows or anything and I think it does deserve that. I also think They Live deserves a super special edition. Now they put out a special edition with a vinyl for each They Live and Big Trouble in Little China. But I mean, I'd prefer like a multi-disc with special features and interviews of then and now and things like that. But maybe one day they got to re-release it again to keep that train rolling, because they're both cult classics and people that love them and will, like you guys buy all the superhero stuff. People will buy this stuff.
This seems like something you would know, Al.
You don't. Why would it be something I know? Why? Because
I've never heard of him, so I assume that you know who it is.
No. Yeah. I mean, Billy Wilder, I mean, I don't know. I mean,
Billy Wilder. Let me Google him and see who he is.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm not a
TW
big proponent of the
out
movie.
obscured you.
No. No. I'm not Googling.
There you go, Al. Get your They Live going.
Let's come to chew bubblegum. And yes, and I'm almost out of bubblegum. So there we
He's
go.
almost out of ass.
Almost out of chewing.
I'm almost out of chewing. I do want to go through all the quirky 80s movies and Criterion Corner's coming back, kind of revamping it a little bit. I finally got a little place to do it, so we're good to go. 2 or 3 weeks. 2 weeks. We'll have something up. So,
cool.
Yeah. Ron, you did say you made a trip to the theater.
Some recently. Like it hot. There you go.
I did. I saw Army of the Dead.
You can get Some Like It Hot on Criterion.
Sweet.
With a broken speaker.
That's right. Visuals were great. Speaker was not great.
Did you get your money back?
No, I did not.
Where'd you go see it? Midtown something?
Landmark. Yeah, it was a Midtown Cinema in Atlanta. I've been very vocal about the fact that I'm not a zombie movie guy. I just, for whatever reason, just doesn't really do it for me. Yeah. This movie is gorgeous. Which
you would find no fault. You would find no fault in this movie. Period. There's one person.
I mean, look.
He has said that it's not his jam. Like
it's not. I'm not a zombie movie guy. Like
I understand that, but I'm saying this movie could be paint drying on a wall, and y'all be like, "Oh, Zack Snyder made it beautiful."
No, dude. No, the way this movie was shot, he shot this whole thing with the Canon Dream lens, and it is just absolute. The racking and stuff in it, it's buttery. It's awesome.
I'm looking forward to. We're watching it tomorrow. Alan is coming over. Maybe David. Nice. I don't know. Rusty's at the beach.
I agree, Nani.
Yeah, we're gonna watch it tomorrow.
John Hughes wrote my childhood.
Say about it. So I won't talk about it too much here, but I also watched. I watched Jupiter's Legacy all the way through. I was on a Saturday. I was just kind of like didn't have much going on.
What is Jupiter's Legacy? I don't know what that is.
And man, it's a Netflix. It feels like it's supposed to be Netflix's answer to The Boys. Yeah,
that's kind of what it seemed like.
But it's definitely not. I mean, if it is, it's not a good answer. The story's intriguing enough, but the production quality on this show is it's bad.
So Mark Millar,
it's hard to get through. Yeah, it's hard to. I mean, it's hard. Like it's distractingly bad. The production quality for me.
I saw some clips.
So I'd be interested to see how. I am curious to watch. I will say, whenever season 2 comes out, I'll give a couple episodes a try to see if it improves at all on that front. But it's gonna have to improve quick because I can't watch that again.
Let me see. I want to say TW keeps talking about Billy Wilder movies. Now there, and I mentioned a while ago, Some Like It Hot is on Criterion Collection, and so is.
I was just changing the subject.
Ace in the Hole. No, I wanted to answer him before we got too far, and because if you've never watched a Criterion movie, they really do treat it well. So really, really, really well done. So if you want to get into those, that might be the best way to go about that. So this show, they were also talking about the show. So there we go.
Nice. Yeah. I don't have a ton of Josh Duhamel's good in it. His makeup as the older characters.
Yeah, that beard is distracting.
Dude, it's not even the beard that's the worst part. His like the facial stuff they did. Oh, it's bad.
It's got the girl from Talladega Nights in it too, right?
Who?
You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Leslie Bibb.
Leslie Bibb?
Yeah.
That's Mr. Rockwell's partner for many years.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we always seem to get him in the show somehow or another. So.
Right.
Sure.
On the positive side,
we need a Sam Rockwell counter for this show, like we have Zack
We
Snyder
need-
counter for the other.
it'll be
ones.
one.
If anybody
Every
knows
other
Sam
week.
Rockwell, tell him he's always invited on the show. We're sorry that we have to keep pushing him off, but he's welcome to come back anytime.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's our Matt Damon. Ran out of
I
time.
like Matt. Look at us. I will say on the positive side, I watched New Mutants, which I was expecting to be terrible, and I was pleasantly surprised. It's a very obviously expectations probably had a lot to do with it, but it's a very cool little side story in that Fox Marvel world. And I really don't. It's not like it was, some masterpiece, but it was a fun flick. It was nothing distracting about it. It was a cool little, and Anya Taylor-Joy is great as Magic.
Nice.
So yeah,
I like her.
I would be interested, Brandon. I don't know if you have any interest in watching it at all, but I'd be interested in reviewing that one with you on Capecast if you get the chance to watch it.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max.
What do y'all want to review with me on Criterion Corner? What do you...
I gotta go.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button is on Criterion.
Not really.
Social Network sounds great. Let's do Social Network.
Social Network is on Criterion.
That is kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. As far as New Mutants, I don't know. I might watch it at some point. I'm just not excited to watch it.
I wasn't either. It's on HBO Max, and I was like, I might as well watch it. I've seen all the other movies in this world, so.
It was primed to be something really cool. I mean, the way whenever they announced it, seemingly they were going to do this R-rated like horror approach to a Marvel property.
And I understood what Britt was kind of commenting about that in the group text. I can see where that was the case, where it maybe got meddled with a little bit, but the story beats are all still there. It's fun. I enjoyed it. But yeah,
that's good. I mean, I haven't heard many positives about it, so it's good that I know you and Britt were both pretty positive on it. So
yeah, I'll be honest, I was expecting to hate it.
Yeah.
So that could be part of it too. I don't know. That's why I'm curious to see what you think.
Cool. Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I just got so much stuff to watch. I still got to finish Sopranos, which I have many episodes left of that. But I'll get there. I promise.
I know.
You can do it.
Yeah.
So what's coming out before we leave? I guess we should kind of let the folks know what's releasing this week, because things are continuing to release, and more things actually. So we do have a few. We already talked about Army of the Dead. It's already been in cinemas for a week, but it is coming to Netflix tomorrow.
4 Good Days. 4 Good Days.
I remember
was in the theater a little bit ago. And
yeah, it was limited release.
Yeah, and Oxygen. I haven't seen anything on Oxygen.
I've never even heard of this. What is Oxygen?
So
it's Oxygen got Melanie Laurent.
Yeah, it's a girl from Inglourious Bastards.
Melanie Laurent.
Seemingly kind of like did you ever see that that movie? Was it Buried with
with Ryan Reynolds?
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. And that movie Lock. Did you ever see Lock with Tom Hardy? Where it's like a very close quarters, contained type thing. That seems to be what this is, but more of a sci-fi hook to it. But it's the director that did Crawl. And it's a French movie, I believe. So it's in French.
Gotcha.
But it came out last week.
Brandon,
but I
you
forgot
don't even
to mention
understand British.
I know. But I sent y'all the trailer. Maybe you didn't watch it, but it actually looks pretty good.
I did not watch it. I have seen the other 2 trailers. I watched like 10 seconds of the Army of the Dead, and then 4 Good Days. That was hard to get through the trailer, so I know I'm not going to watch that movie.
4 Good Days seems like it could be
terrible.
it seems like it could be serviceable. I mean, it's one of those things. It's one of those movies that could go the route of they just tried to ugly these people up and put them in situations so that they could get Oscars.
It's a monster thing. Yeah. It's Oscar bait. And I think, you have good actresses in this, but it's about a daughter. TW, you were asking what it's about. It's about a daughter that has drug addiction, and she has a kid, and the mom, the grandmother of the kid, the mom of the daughter, is trying to basically get her to straighten up and fly right, or just leave us alone and go die in a corner by yourself. And that's where it just looks like a movie where people are just going to yell a lot, kind of like Leonardo DiCaprio's School of Acting, just yell a lot, and then they make them ugly, and that's Oscar bait. So yeah, I'm not interested. And Mila Kunis, I like her a lot, but she just looks like she's overacting like crazy in this movie. It just looks terrible. So
it looks like it could be good.
You should watch What Now and I, TW, instead of 4 Good Days. That's what you should watch. That's classic. That's such a good movie. All right, folks. We're going to cut out, but do pay attention to our channel, because we are going to put out our review of one of the bigger releases. You want to tell them what we're going to?
Those Who Wish Me Dead.
Yeah.
HBO Max.
Angelina Jolie, Taylor Sheridan. Yeah.
Last Friday.
Yeah. Theaters. So yeah, we're gonna do a review on that. That'll be probably drop in either tomorrow or Saturday. We don't know yet, so we're trying to get that taken care of. So do keep an eye out for that. Also, Ryan, you want to tell them how they can communicate with us, continue the conversation elsewhere?
Yep. Do what TW did. Hit the subscribe button here on YouTube.
Share
bell so that you stay up to date on all the stuff we're doing. Obviously, anytime you share our videos, like Al said, it's a huge help also. And give us a follow on Instagram at CiNEMACHiNE. And then lastly, we just launched a Patreon. We hit 500 subscribers.
Yeah.
That is patreon.com/CiNEMACHiNE. And any help we get there is hugely appreciated.
Yeah. Well, folks, we truly do appreciate if there's topics that you want us to talk about and debate or go back and forth with you guys, we're willing to talk about. We love talking about this stuff. Let us know what you think about the state of movie theaters. Let us know what you think about these big purchases or selling of big media conglomerates and things like that. We want to keep the conversation going, so please do visit us and share this video to make sure we get more and more people every week, so we can make the conversation bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. We want to thank everybody that has been here the whole time, that has communicated with us, and those that just watched without communicating. We thank you too. Until the next CineMachine, keep watching a ton of movies, and we'll see you next time, folks.